While the benefit to each child who is chosen to be part of the program is great, the impact of the program on the overall effort to improve student achievement in the school is negligible. Bagong Silangan Elementary School is a case in point. Earlier this school year, it was reported that about 50% of the 7,145 students of the school are malnourished. To feed 1.12% of the total number of malnourished children through the present feeding program template is too insignificant. Bagong Silangan Elementary School is a case in point. Earlier this school year, it was reported that about 50% of the 7,145 students of the school are malnourished. To feed 1.12% of the total number of malnourished children through the present feeding program template is too insignificant. On the other hand, implementing a daily in-school feeding program for all 3,500 or so malnourished children is too daunting and doomed to fail without the necessary preparation and system. Faced with this great challenge and mindful of the opportunity to scale up, ACE embarked on a daily feeding program for the 400 most malnourished children of Bagong Silangan Elementary School beginning November 2010. A feeding program for 10 times the number of children in the usual feeding program presented great challenges and necessitated different implementation strategies. It was not a matter of multiplying everything by 10. Space was a problem. Lunch for 40 children could be provided in the feeding room or canteen, but not for 400 children. Instead of sit-down lunch meals, packed lunch had to be provided in reusable containers. A parent volunteer could handle the daily marketing for 40 children, but not for 400. It became necessary to tie up with a supermarket for most of the daily needs and limit marketing to items that could only be obtained from the wet market. Also, enlisting a big number of parent volunteers was not easy. In addition to the parent volunteers, it was necessary to seek the assistance of the barangay as well as to hire some helpers. A feeding program for the 40 most malnourished children of a school has been tried and proven successful in terms of the benefits for the participants. The template introduced by Jollibee Foundation is easy to roll out each time there are individuals or groups interested to fund and replicate the program. The Student Council of the Ateneo Graduate School of Business has in fact implemented a feeding program for 80 children at Villaverde Elementary School. However, the question about the impact of feeding programs of such a scale on the overall effort to improve student achievement in public schools remains. The institutional interest and commitment of the Ateneo Professional Schools to explore a blueprint for a large-scale feeding program that can possibly provide the template for feeding all the malnourished children in a given school is a distinctive opportunity to help build the nation by building the schoolhouse and building the schoolhouse by feeding the children. In the words of Dr. Bengzon, this project is a staging area and vehicle by which the EPS units could break new ground and jumpstart the Ateneo's renewed engagement of building this nation. The Ateneo Professional Schools Council first met on this matter on November 30, 2010, and I first met with the group on December 9. It is amazing to note that in 2 months, the venture has taken some clear shape, indicative of the Ateneo Professional Schools' obsession to attack poverty by responding to the challenge of disconnectedness. It is indicative of the Ateneo Professional School's obsession to say thank you to Father Nebres through a field of engagement and a manner of engagement that is closest to Father's heart. Plans are now on the drawing board towards a feeding program for 1,000 children in each of 4 schools, or a total of 4,000 children in all by June 2011. The schools are Commonwealth Elementary School, Doña Juana Elementary School, Manuel Quezon Elementary School, and San Diego Elementary School, all located around the area of Commonwealth Avenue. All the schools have feeding programs, but as you can see on the table, typical of many feeding programs in our public schools, these are either small scale or offered for a very limited period of time. For this project, the Ateneo Professional Schools employs a strategy that has 3 components. 1, to know the situation. There is no substitute to seeing. As you can read the words of Father Nebres on the back cover of your Congress booklet, he said, "When people ask me why we are the one country in our region that is not showing progress in the first 2 Millennium Goals, lessening extreme poverty and attaining universal grade school education, I say that the main reason is that the decision makers, including us, do not go down and see. We have a kind of apartheid, not by law, but by choice. And because we do not see, we cannot care." Last Friday, January 28, representatives of each of the Ateneo Professional Schools went to the 4 public schools to see. There is no substitute to seeing if we are to care. We invite those interested to come and see the public schools after this Congress, perhaps during the week of March 14 to 18. Second component of the strategy, to engage people. There is an opportunity for every person to help. Dr. Bengzon says, the arithmetic of the experiences in the smaller scale feeding programs shows that every level of the nation's citizenry can be engaged. From those who are loyal supporters of the PBA or the Metro Manila Film Festival, to those who patronize high-end restaurants, hotels, resorts, and other similar activities. Third component, to develop a large-scale feeding program that will serve as a systematic and sustainable solution that will address the malnutrition and hunger problem among public school children systemically. The operations and management classes of Professor Wong and Professor Tenmatay have been busy studying the smaller scale feeding programs we are implementing so that systems may be improved and the large scale feeding program may be characterized by smart operations. They have given us recommendations on the back-end process, the supply side, the layout of the feeding area, a proposed ID system, cooking process, and other suggestions. These are some of the suggestions they have made. We shall be using these as inputs already when we carry out the feeding program for 400 children in each of the 4 schools on March 14 to 18, to which you are all invited. In March, the operations management classes will be presenting recommendations for the large-scale feeding program, which will feed 1,000 children per school, or a total of 4,000 children by June 2011. This already includes the possibility of an off-site kitchen for food preparations. We are drawing inspiration from the experience